Years of growth and alternative. Just as the phrase community has shifted and changed over the years, to what extent do you think Othona's increasing position as being an alternative community, an alternative to something that perhaps in mainstream communities taken as normal, but which perhaps community and its values and its principles would think otherwise? How has that alternative view adapted and changed over the decades that you've known Othona?
I think it's perhaps not as obvious now as it was. I mean, one of the things my father felt particularly strongly about was that Othona was not an end in itself. Its aim was to renew and restore and vitally send people back to the workplace, whatever that was, to the home, the office, the building site, and to take the values of caring and compassion and openness and willing to accept other people and listen to them back home. It wasn't to become an end in itself, and it wasn't to take the place, for him particularly, for the church, that people should go back to their own churches and take what they'd learned here, hopefully, about recognising other Christians and other ways of being Christian back to their own churches.
What was the response of other people's churches to that message? Did you get a sense in which maybe initially it was somewhat sort of seen as overly idealistic?
Well, we've fallen a little bit between two camps, because for the more fundamentalist evangelical churches we're not Christian enough, as it were, and the others, the word Christian comes in and they back off. So we've always fallen a bit between the two. I think to a certain extent the church has caught up because the ecumenical movement has moved on, and there is obviously much more sharing between the churches. I mean, our parish church in Weybridge shared the church with the Roman Catholics when their church was being rebuilt. We didn't share services, but they used our church. So there was a warmth and a cooperation which would have been unheard of in the 50s. So I think the world's caught up with us a bit, so it's not quite so obvious.